Hi, my name is Stratis Minakakis and I'm composer and conductor. For this project, I'm writing a work entitled Skiagraphies, which in Greek means shadow etchings. Shadow etchings was inspired by a 19th century book by Goethe entitled Theory of Colors. I came across this book in the context of my research on Beethoven manuscripts with my colleague Nick Kitchen at New England Conservatory. Beethoven, as you know, was impossible to impress, and in one of his letters, he's asking urgently for a copy of the book because he found it very interesting. While a lot of the scientific conclusions that Goethe arrives at in this book have been invalidated, I find this book quite fascinating. For once, it's perhaps one of the first attempts to understand how we as humans perceive color. Up to that point, people understood the phenomenon of color as a wave phenomenon through the work of Isaac Newton. But how is it that we, with our own subjective eyes, perceive color? Goethe attempts to answer a lot of questions regarding visual illusions and things like that, which I find quite fascinating. Of all the things that he discusses in the book, the one that drew my attention the most is a chapter on the study of shadows, especially colored shadows. But how do you transfer this idea of shadows, which is primarily a visual thing, to sound, which is, of course, an acoustic thing? Well, I'm taking two approaches. One is I interpret shadows as minute gradations in musical parameters. So, infinitesimal fluctuations in pitch, in dynamics, in timbre. The second dimension that I'm exploring, which is perhaps a more important one, is that I interpret shadows as all these elements of the microcosm of a sound that normally are not at its surface. For example, when you hear a violin tone, you may hear a very clear, beautiful frequency with a violin timbre, but that is the confluence of many other factors. Even several other pitches are present there in the overtone series. There is even a strong component of noise present in the sound, and all of these things combine to make the violin sound. In this work, I intend to reverse the focus and look at those elements that are hidden inside the sound, those unstable, beautiful, furtive elements, and bring those to the foreground. Working with Partch instruments and saxophone quartet is an ideal medium to explore ideas of this nature. Of course, the higher Partch instruments, in terms of pitch and in terms of timbre, are perhaps the most versatile acoustic instruments that exist. And the saxophone quartet as a medium, especially when played by the PRISM saxophone quartet, is one of the most virtuosic and omnipotent ensembles one can work with. I'm very excited about this project, not only because I have the opportunity to work with such unique instruments, but also because I will be conducting my piece, and it's a great opportunity for me to work with musicians of this caliber and in such an unusual ensemble. So I'm very excited about this, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes through at the end, and I will be sharing more with you as the project moves along. Thank you.